Hello. I hope everything went all right with you and your assignment at your end. I was able to receive loads of your work and have corrected it all and placed your score in the grade book. I didn't take time to check with everybody who was absent, but I did list a series of students in the email that didn't complete it or just haven't mailed me their first assignment, the one about the oceans. Following the first assignment, I hope you see how easy it is to place data, either text or numbers, into a spreadsheet. Along with the numbers and text, formulas can be entered in a spreadsheet to make mathematical calculations. Following the second assignment, I hope you'll see how easy it is to enter formulas and do calculations with a spreadsheet as well. Now, if you haven't finished the spreadsheet number 1, the oceans from yesterday, do so and then continue with these instructions and videos about spreadsheet number 2. Spreadsheet number 2 is going to deal with an addition formula in a lunch count assignment and a subtraction formula in a profit assignment. We'll start with the first one. We're looking at the assignment that says the lunchroom workers have compiled the following information for the number of lunches served during 1 week. You need to create a spreadsheet with all the information that you see in this table, starting with cell A1 and go from there. Now I'm going to get it started and I'm going to show you some techniques that'll make it a little easier to work with. I started off at the top, and as you notice, you start in cell A1, and of course the information is spilling over, and like I said yesterday on our video, you need to make sure everything fits into one cell and not spill into the neighboring cell. Again, you can adjust the width by grabbing the boundary between A and B and extend it. And that's probably what you can do with some of these, just to give yourself enough room. Now, as we start to go down, you're going to have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Now, one thing I want to bring up right away here is the spreadsheet helps you do repetitive items. Repetitive in that it's going to assume that it knows the next item to put in a cell if you set up a pattern. And I was just doing a pattern with the days of the week. Let me show you an easier way to have put in these days of the week rather than what I had to do, type each one individually. This feature is referred to as autofill, and we're going to work with that not only with words but formulas. If I type in the word Monday, the spreadsheet has it in cell A2. Now I'm going to zoom in real close so that you can see it. There is a small, tiny, little black box in the corner of cell A2. If I move my cursor over that little black corner, it turns from a fat cross into a single, narrow cross. That shows that it's an active spot, and I can left click and drag and watch what happens as I go down the cells below Monday. It's going to assume that I'm wanting a series of days of the week, and it'll fill it in automatically for me. You can type it longhand if you want, but I just wanted to show you what could happen if you worked with an autofill feature. Now, I'm going to go back and show you how that works on another series of words. For instance, 7th grade, and I'm doing 8th grade and 9th grade. Again, the spreadsheet will assume that you want something in a series to come up. Again, I grab that black corner and watch what happens. The information is filled in automatically. Just a series of quick ways to add text as well as formulas. We'll show that in a moment. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to as quickly as I can, put in the information. You can use the keys above the letters if you like, but again, I think if you get used to using the number pad, it'll come in a lot handier when you're putting a lot of text in. You have to make sure you put the data in it accurately. A mistake here has the math all wrong as well. Okay, now this is what you're going to set up to get started. You'll notice that we have 2 additional areas on this spreadsheet because the problem is to find out what our lunch count is throughout the week for each day of the week as well as for the grades. You notice that one column is labeled totals, E column, so we're going to total Monday's lunches across, Tuesday's lunches across, Wednesdays across, Thursdays across, and Fridays across. We're also finding out how many total 7th graders ate lunch, how many total 8th graders ate lunch that week, as well as 9th graders. Now here comes the situation about formulas. If I went to a calculator, I could sit and add them up pretty fast, put in my answers in those cells, and think I'm done. But that's not what you need to do. You need to work with a mathematical formula so that any changes you make in your data will recalculate automatically. That's where a spreadsheet will save you time. Now I'm going to slip back and we're going to come in close on that one area with the gold marking that explains formulas, and that's just 3 simple steps. They're written on the sheet for you to look at, as well as we're going to talk about them and work through them in just a moment. 3 steps to put in a formula. You select the cell where you want your answer. Step 1. Step 2, type an equal sign. Step 3, use a mathematical formula with cell addresses. 3 steps. Always follow those. So, let's go here to our total section. And let's go through and make a formula to add up Monday's lunches. First step, select the cell where you want your answer. If you click on the cell, of course it gets that black boundary like I mentioned yesterday, so I know I'm selected in that cell. Step 1 is select the cell where you want your answer. Step 2, type the equal sign. That's a signal for the computer that it has to do the work for you and not you do the work for it. Once you've got the equal sign, you use cell addresses. In this case, we're looking at adding B2, the cell B2, plus, and the plus sign, if you look at it, is over there near the backspace, or you can use the number pad plus way over on the far side of your keyboard. B2, then we're going to have C2, we're going to add up 8th grade lunch people, and D2. The formula, equal B2 plus C2 plus D2. Now, I just typed that with the keyboard, and you can do that if you want, but let me show you a much simpler way. I've selected the cell and keep the equal sign, but rather than type the address B and then the 2 and the plus sign, just take your cursor, the fact cross, and click on the cell. You'll notice the address comes up automatically. Then I hit my plus sign and I hit the next cell that I want to add. I'm just clicking on it once. The address comes up. I hit the plus sign and the last one. So again, I don't have to type it. This address is going automatically. I've got my formula, press enter, and I've got my total. Let me do one more. I select the cell for Tuesday's total. Press the equal sign. With my mouse, I can click on B3 plus C3 plus D3. I press enter. Do you see the pattern? The cells in the B column are added to the C column, are added to the D column. Now, is that repetitive? Yes, it is. Just like the autofill that we use to come up with the days of the week, the computer's going to assume you have a repetitive pattern if you use autofill. So watch what happens. I've got these guys going. I've got their formulas. You'll notice the formulas show up in the entry bar area at the top. You can verify that you clicked on the right cells. You'll notice the next one is similar in pattern, B plus C plus D on the 3rd row. But now if I grab that little autofill corner, I can actually fill them in automatically, and the formula is filled down. My totals are done. Let's try the last column, or the column for 7th graders. We want to add up all the week. We have to start off with a formula. We select the cell, type the equal, and now we're adding up the cells.